everybody. Welcome to my kitchen this evening. I'm preparing to make my vegan spaghetti squash spaghetti. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the spaghetti sauce, the marinara sauce that I'm going to be using. We used to buy canned, back before our GMO awareness began. We used to buy canned spaghetti sauce at the grocery store, Hunt's or Del Monte or whatever, one of the cheap brands. I guess after my GMO awareness began, then I really started scrutinizing labels and realized, you look at the labels on the store-bought brands, and there's a ton of things in there that, you may not even know what they are, and added sugar in all of them, corn syrup in some products that I don't understand why they need corn syrup or sugar for that matter, and unknown if it's GMO ingredients or not. So for a while we had switched to this one. Let me see here, let me make a little spot. Try to get this in focus there where you can see. So, and this sounds like pretty good stuff actually. So I was buying this, a case or 2 cases at a time, and it looks pretty great because, it says non-GMO right up front, and the ingredients are pretty simple. There's not a bunch of stuff in there that you can't recognize. It's all, pretty straightforward ingredients. But it says, there's no meat products in it, so it's vegan, and, no sugar added, which was a plus for me. No preservatives, which is also a plus. And actually, with the acidity, I don't understand why they would need preservatives either in a marinara sauce. But so that's what we were using for a while. And the only thing with it, and it was good sauce, it was good sauce, and I actually called them and thanked them for making a trustworthy, healthy product to feed my family. And anyway, I often call if I have a comment on a product. I figure if they don't hear from any of us, then that's not very helpful. So if I have some feedback, I just pipe right up. So anyway, but I started looking into this, and I was paying for between like upwards of $4 a jar, $4 to $5 a jar, which is pretty premium ransom for marinara sauce. And since their ingredients, as you can see, they're pretty straightforward, I was going, I could just whip something up like that myself. And it's so quick and simple. So I started making my own. And I have this from probably 1.5 years or more ago. And this is the last jar I have left. And I'm never again going to buy mass-produced spaghetti sauce. It's so easy to make. So I'm going to show you guys really quick what I do. And you're going to love this, and your family's going to love it. So I basically have got my ingredients set out here, ready to go. And this is so quick and easy. I used to hear stories about how people would simmer their spaghetti sauce all day, and that's really not necessary. If you want to reduce it and, enhance some of the flavors of the dry spices, it's up to you. But we're going to go ahead and put a little olive oil in the pan. This is a cast iron pan. I prefer to cook in cast iron, so I'm going to get the heat going on that. And into that, my family loves garlic and loves onions, so into that we're going to toss our garlic. And that's just about, I'm going to use about 2 cans, 28-ounce cans of tomatoes. So I put about 2 heaping tablespoons of minced garlic. So, depending on how big a fan you are of garlic. So, anyway. And then I have 1 modest size onion chopped. So I'm going to toss that in also. Give it a second here to get my heat going. And I'll bring you guys back. So we got some cooking going on now. Beginning to smell really good in here. And also, if your family likes peppers, like sweet peppers, you could add that. If your family likes spice, you could add some crushed red pepper. So now I've kind of got my, onions and garlic started. So I'm going to go ahead and add my Italian seasoning, and this is quite a bit here. Don't be shy with your herbs and spices. This has got marjoram, thyme, basil, rosemary, savory, and oregano in it. So quite a generous mix there. And we're going to go ahead and spread that in. And you want to get that started right at the beginning, kind of right when the onions are starting to cook and stuff. You want the moisture and the oil to start to bring the flavor out of those dry spices. Dry spices always take time to develop, so we'll get them going right at the start so that they can start to do their magic, release the flavor. So we're going to give this a second more to cook, and I'll bring you guys back again. Okay, so the onions are fully cooked down now. Everything looks nice and translucent. We're not going to get anything that's too crunchy in there. So I'm going to turn my heat down because we don't want it bubbling like a volcano. And then I have two already ready to go opened cans of just regular crushed tomatoes. So we're just going to shake that one out really good. And I've already peeled the labels, so those are ready to go to recycle. I usually just peel the labels when I open something and set it out where I can see what it is, and then I'll rinse those containers and put them straight into my recycle tubs. So now we're going to mix in the stuff. So, and if you had put say green pepper in here, you'd get more of that color. If you like the red and green together, you can see we have a ton of spices starting to come up. Just bring those up to the surface there. But then you really don't need to simmer it unless you want to. I mean, that would allow more time for the dry spices to develop. But it's pretty much ready to go as it is. We just want to get it to where it's hot enough to plate, and I'm going to go ahead and season it to taste. And we don't go real heavy on the salt, but we have two 28-ounce cans of tomato in there. So and there is not presently a GMO tomato on the market in the United States, so you can feel relatively safe buying whatever brand of tomato is on the shelf in your store. That you can just buy whatever, even generic tomato, crushed tomato. Just take a look at the label and make sure it only has tomato and water in it. So I usually I don't buy prepared things anymore. Which is why I'm making this video, so that you all can hopefully do the same. But if I buy canned goods, an item that has only one thing, and I'll look at it and make sure it doesn't have unnecessary sugar or, God forbid, corn syrup, or anything else unwanted in it. Any ingredients I can't pronounce, I put that stuff back on the shelf. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and toss some salt in there, maybe a little more. We'll go ahead and mix that in. We don't want it real salty. I've got some organic cheese that we may shred on top of our pasta anyway, or our spaghetti squash pasta. So anyway, that's on a low heat, so you can just leave it on a low heat and till it develops to where you're happy with it, and do go ahead and taste. Alright, we're back. So I've got some of the spaghetti squash in a dish here. Let's take a look at how this sauce turned out. Look at that. Chunky pieces of tomato. You can see the herbs and spices, and onions and garlic, all the good stuff in there. So, and of course, if you're a meat eater, you can add meat. We prefer not to, and nobody really misses it. The animal products that we do use, we either buy organic or raise our own or don't use it. So anyway, we'll go ahead and put a generous scoop of that on the spaghetti squash there, maybe a little more. I don't want it to be hot or anything. Do I have a taste tester around here? Those of you who have kids, I'm sure know that kids can be incredibly picky.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Christopher. I'm the taste tester here.
Careful, is it hot? You don't know?
Hey, I'm a taste tester.
Hold on.
It's good.
Really?
Yep, great.
Great. Delicious, huh? You want to take a bite too?
Yeah.
You want to just taste a little spaghetti?
Yeah.
Is it hot?
Yeah.
A little?
Yeah.
Don't touch that burner, baby. That is hot. Was that spaghetti good?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we love. Good stuff right there. Christopher's ready for more. How about if I just give you the dish?
Okay.
Here you go. Enjoy. Bon appetit. So, family pleasing, healthy, non-GMO, no added sugar. You know, you control what's in there. It's all whole ingredients. Nothing you can't pronounce. So, hopefully this is helpful to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and continue to include some cooking videos that show, I guess, how I avoid commercially or mass-produced grocery store products. So anyway, have a good evening. We'll see y'all soon.